Hi, it's Tamara here from the EFT Training Centre, and in this video we're going to be talking about how EFT can help you if you feel anxious about wearing a mask. And I know many people are feeling that way at the moment. For some people it can cause anxiety or panic attacks, feeling like they can't breathe. And that's usually because of something that may have happened in the past. For example, sometimes it can even go back to birth, where if you had difficulty breathing as a baby, and then when you're having to put this over your mouth and there's not enough oxygen, it can trigger that kind of feeling. So there's a lot that you can do with EFT, emotional freedom techniques tapping, which is like acupuncture for emotions without the use of needles. It's if you can feel yourself beginning to have an anxiety or panic attack, then one thing that you can do is use the finger points, and they're really good. They're the corner of the nail, which is closest to the body and furthest away from the rest of the fingers. So it's this point, this point, this point, this point, and this point. And you can tap on them, or you can touch and breathe. So if you're in a public place and you're noticing that that feeling is arising for you, that panic, what you can do is with your finger, you can touch your thumb point. With your thumb, you can touch your finger point, and then you can touch your thumb on the next finger point and the next finger point and the next finger point. And while you're doing that, you can take a deep breath in. So let's just try that. So first finger on thumb, take a deep breath in. And then thumb on first finger, take a deep breath in. Thumb on next finger, take a deep breath in. And the next finger. And what this is, it's a subtle way of just calming you. These are very powerful acupuncture points, which are calming and soothing, so that you can keep doing this until you calm down. Something else that happens when people don't wear a mask is that they can feel uncomfortable and worried about what other people are thinking and feel anxious about that. So if you're feeling that kind of anxiety or worry that people are going to judge you, maybe you've been verbally abused because of not wearing a mask. I know that lots of people out there are very, very fearful, and then it can make them act in angry ways, because if someone is wearing a mask and they see you not wearing a mask, they can feel that, they can feel scared that they're going to catch the virus because you're not wearing a mask. So if you're feeling that kind of anxiety, then what you can do is do some tapping. So because we're going to be tapping on face points, it's important to keep your hands very clean. And I've got some hand sanitizer. It's the really divine Neal's Yard hand rub, which is completely natural and it smells amazing. And actually, when you're washing your hands and hand sanitizing, do make sure that you're doing your thumbs in between your fingers and your fingertip points, because they're the areas that we often forget. So if you're interested in this hand sanitizer, I do sell it on my website and I will post a link below. So let's do some tapping on feeling anxious. So if you tap along with me, you agree to take responsibility for your own well-being. And the invitation is to do what I do and say what I say. And if you don't like what I do or say, simply don't do it. And if my words don't match how you feel, simply change what you say to match how you do feel. So even though I feel anxious going out, not wearing my mask, being judged, everyone's looking at me, feeling exposed and vulnerable and worried about what people are thinking, I deeply and completely accept myself and my situation, even though I don't like going out because I'm not wearing a mask, because it makes me feel anxious. And I'm worried about what people are going to say. I accept and honour my feelings. Feeling anxious, feeling worried. What are people going to think of me? They're going to judge me. They're watching me. Feeling vulnerable. Feeling exposed. They might say something to me. They might be horrible to me. They might be rude to me. And it makes me feel scared. And yet I don't want to wear a mask because it makes me feel anxious and like I can't breathe. And I acknowledge all of these feelings, this anxiety and worry and fear. Acknowledging those feelings, acknowledging where I feel them in my body. And notice where you're feeling them in your body and just take a deep breath into that area right now. And noticing my feet on the ground and my body just as it is, and my breath just as it is. Knowing that right here, right now, I am okay. I am safe. Acknowledging how I'm feeling. And I'm open to the possibility of imagining or visualizing or getting a sense that I can put a protective, imaginary cloak around me, protecting me from other people's looks, other people's hurtful thoughts. And if that protective cloak had a colour, what colour would it be? And just noticing the colour of your cloak. And I'm open to the possibility of wearing that protective cloak whenever I go out, so that only love can come towards me. And I'm open to the possibility of surrounding myself with kind people, respectful people, helpful people, non-judgmental people, knowing and trusting that I am safe right now. And say transform, and take a deep breath, transform. So I forgot at the beginning of this video to ask you to rate the intensity of your anxiety on a scale from 0 to 10. But if you rate it now and get a sense of whether it's changed, whether it's gone up, whether it's stayed the same, whether it's gone down. If it's stayed the same, and there are lots of reasons why it might do that, and if you write in the comments, I will try and support you in pointing in the right direction of what you could do next with EFT. There are lots of different reasons and lots of different techniques that can help you with this. If the intensity of your anxiety has gone up as a result of this tapping routine, don't worry. Just repeat it. Go back to the beginning of the video and repeat it, and it will go down. And if it's gone down, that's fantastic. And if you tap again, then you can reduce it more. And the idea is to get it down to a 0 so that you won't be affected by this anymore. So if you've enjoyed this video, please do hit the share button so that other people who are also feeling anxious can benefit in this way. And in the meantime, have an amazing day and enjoy yourself. Bye.